Hi, I'm Dylan Canner, intern at McHenry County Farm Bureau. I'm here with
Keith Johnson and
Kelly Kempf, market managers.
Awesome. To start us off, would you like to tell us a little bit about the Woodstock Farmers Market?
well, it's been going, as you may know, we're celebrating our 40th anniversary today. It's been going since 1982. And we started small on the western edge of the square with about 6 to 8 vendors. Gradually it's grown. Maybe 15 years ago we started a winter market, so we're doing a year-round market now. But originally it went from June, I think, through September, and that was all. We extended a month on each side of the season and grew it that way, and then we also then added the winter market.
So how did it go, like establishing an inside area, and kind of when did that happen?
That happened at the Farm Bureau with Dan's help.
Oh.
Yeah, Dan gave us a very reasonable rate out there, and we were there for probably 8 or 10 years. And gradually we outgrew the space, or we'd still be there.
Okay.
We had like maybe 10 vendors there, maybe 10, 12 vendors, and we were growing, and so we had to move to a larger location, and we moved to Building D on the fairgrounds then.
Okay. So how many vendors do you guys have?
We had about 32 probably last winter into winter. In the summer, Kelly, we up to about
53, I believe.
53.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what's the process for someone who's trying to become a vendor here?
Well, we have a pretty formal process. You have to have liability insurance, naming the market as an additional insured. You have to, that has to go before our board of directors, which is made up of vendors, 5 vendor directors. And the board it's probably the most difficult thing that we do with the market is to decide who's going to be in the market and who isn't. They're very careful with it. We want quality vendors. We want vendors who produce their own products.
Right.
And we inspect the vendors to assure our customers that that's happening. Kelly, think of anything else we do require?
I think that is the most important part, is that all of our vendors produce everything that you see at the market, and every item is approved, and we go out to make sure that they are not only growing it, but they're growing it in numbers that match the market demand. And if they want to bring a new product to market, we go out to their farms and we see how they're growing it or how they're producing it. And that just provides a real quality and an assurance to our farmers that their neighbors are also doing the work, that they're planting the seeds and they're hoeing the weeds and they're pulling it out of the ground and they're bringing it to market themselves. And I think that's what connects our customers to our market, is that personal connection of actually buying from the people that are producing it. And a lot of people try to sneak in our market and they don't realize we're actually going to come out to their house and we're going to knock on their door and we're going to see what they're doing, and that weeds a lot of people out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. And would you say the number of vendors has increased over the years?
Yes. We were, like I say, maybe 8 at the maximum in the summers when we were just doing the summer market in '82. Mm-hmm. And then we gradually, I think it was 2005, we were allowed to go around the square, and that was the city gave us that ability to go around the square. And once we went around the square, the spaces become much more equitable. There was no bad space, because the square is such a beautiful place to have a market, because all the spaces are equally displayed. And once we went around the square, we probably filled up about half the square the first few years. Then we got to 3/4 of the square, and then few years ago we got to where we were filling the whole square, and now we're filling the whole square, and we picked up additional space in front of the Opera House. We picked up a Jackson Street space, so that's how we didn't have the room for that many people until the city gave us extra room.
And the mayor and the city council have given us assurances that next year, if we want to grow more, they're going to shut down more streets for us. So they have seen the value in us being around the square and the value of us growing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm from Algonquin, and we don't have a farmer's market. Do you guys try to influence other towns to kind of do the same thing? Or?
We don't try to influence them. I have helped other markets over the year, but I give them general guidelines. You know, it takes a person on site to do it, and it's got to be a really dedicated person who will do the footwork. If they want to come and interview our vendors, fine. If they want to know how we run our market, we help them with that. But we don't do anything but the Woodstock market. For one thing, our vendors are worked to death. You know, a lot of them are doing 2 markets here a week. and you got 2 days at the market, at least 2 days preparing. There's 4 days out of your week, and then you got to be planting and weeding and all the other things. So it's we've tried a few satellite things where we went to like a business over the years. It just never seemed to work. We couldn't get all of our vendors to go. Our vendors have other commitments, and so it just we pretty much concentrate on Woodstock.
Right.
Of course, we don't discourage other communities from having farmers markets, because a thriving farmers market community helps everybody. The more people that understand the value of eating local and eating fresh, I think it benefits everybody, and our market just grows because of that. In fact, we have some competing markets in close proximity to Woodstock, and it hasn't hurt our business at all. It just helps it grow. We have people that go from one market to the next, to the next, to the next. So we hope Algonquin gets one.
I do too. Yeah.
You've had one over the years.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we have like in a.
I don't know if you have one now, but over the years you have had different people.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work running.
And it's hard. The biggest problem any farmers market people are trying to start a farmers market have is getting vendors.
Yeah.
And when you have a mature market, more mature market like ours, we have more choice for vendors because we can offer more customers.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot more farms near this area too.
Yep, we got that too.
Yeah. If there's one thing you could change about your farmers market, what would it be?
No rainy days.
Yeah, for sure.
Because rainy days really affect our business as a market. Our vendors can we can have the best supply of vegetables that day, but if it rains, we all get hurt. We just all get hurt. And the rainy weather is probably the biggest downside that I can see but on the other hand, it's so beautiful when it's nice, like today, because it's outside. Yeah. You have huge crowds, people can mingle and still stay safe from other, like the COVID and things like that, because it's an outdoor environment. But actually, as far as the market, we grew kind of slow. It took us a while to get here, but I think we did it right. We didn't just burst on the scene with 50 vendors and let everybody in. We did a very careful selection process to get to where we're at.
Absolutely. We just have one more question here. Does your farmers market work with any other programs in the community that help benefit?
So talk about the link thing.
I will. So the thing I'm most proud of is we take link cards, so people can use their link benefits at our market, which most markets don't offer that. But we also have an amazing grant from the experimental station out of Hyde Park in Chicago, and they match all of our link swipes. So if somebody swipes their card for $25 in link benefits, we give them $25 in link benefits. We give them another $25 in vouchers for fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, and mushrooms. So we're essentially doubling food dollars. And we see a lot of families come to the market not sure that they can even use link. And so to see them excited that they're able to get double food dollars when they're already stretching and scared, it's a really great moment. And those dollars typically are going to Walmart or Aldi's, but we're keeping them in our community. And right now we're finding that our customers are saying, I thought this was going to be really expensive, but the grocery store prices are so high right now that our vendors are able to match those prices pretty much. So people are really getting a lot more food. The people with food insecurity are suffering a little bit less because of that program. We were really excited to throw some business towards Warp Core, who's here on the square. They believe in engagement as prevention for mental health issues, and issues that are impacting our community. So we had them print all of our commemorative market bags for our 40th anniversary. We want to continue working with community groups like that. We have Head Start in the square today. They are running our Kids Corner. We have the MCC Ag program out on the square, and we always work with McHenry County Department of Health so that they can really get in front of people that need that information.
Okay. Well, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for talking with me today. That about wraps it up. So,
Thank you.
Good luck with your schooling. Good luck with yours. You're gonna be a sophomore next year, Dylan?
I'll be a junior.